Okay, welcome world and people here at Southern Nevada Regional Housing Youth One Stop Affiliate. And today is what day? What's the date? June 2nd, 2016, right, okay. And so we're going to talk about Google Apps, and specifically today is about maps. And we want to tie that into how is it going to help you get a job, employment. And one of the things that I have that's only probably of value to you two guys, but I have bus passes available for people that are participative. So here you have to earn it. So you guys earned it by showing up as the other one you're going to get, or whatever you get for being here, but this one is an extra one that we do. So I teach at a school, my name's Edward, I teach at a school, a post-secondary school, licensed post-secondary school in Nevada. So what does that mean, post-secondary? What does that mean?
Your second school.
Post-secondary means what? What's post mean? Like pre, what's pre?
Before.
Okay, what's post?
After.
After. Oh. So after secondary school. And what is secondary school?
College.
No.
Alternative school.
High school. High school is secondary. So post-secondary means after high school. So I teach at a school that is a licensed post-secondary school in Nevada. And but our students, so where I was teaching this morning was inside of the prison. We have a campus inside of the prison. We will be opening a campus inside of the jail in July. And the purpose is so that people learn skills so they don't go back to prison or jail. It's the main reason people go to jail or prison is because of drugs. And there's a lot of things associated with that, but the main reason people go back to prison is because they can't get a job. And why do you think they can't get a job?
Because of their record and
Okay. Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree? Okay, so but that's not really the reason. It turns out that they don't get hired because they don't have any skills. Because what happens when you go to prison with your skills? What happens to your skills?
You forget it.
Huh?
You forget it.
Yeah, you lose them. It's like if you used to go to the gym, you stop going to the gym, and you go back to the gym, it's like, wow, holy cow, I can't do what I used to be able to do. So, so the thing to stop people from going back to prison or jail is if they have jobs. There's more people out there that will hire people from prison than there are people from prison who have skills. So we help people get skills. So the good news for you is that I know what I'm talking about, because our school has very high placement rate. And we teach people basic stuff. Why do we teach people basic stuff? CJ.
Because with anything, you need to know the basics.
Yeah, you need to know the basics. And so you can't really do, like if it was math, you can't really do calculus if you don't know what? Algebra. And you can't do algebra if you don't know what?
Mathematics.
Huh?
Pre-algebra.
Pre-algebra, and you can't do pre-algebra if you don't know what?
Geometry.
How about division, multiplication, fractions maybe? I don't know. But so you have to start with, and then what's before multiplication, division?
Adding and subtracting.
Adding and subtracting, and what's before that?
Counting.
Counting, numbers. You know, to say 5 minus 3, if you don't know what 5 is, it doesn't matter what minus means, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, so we teach people how to type, because in today's world you cannot get a skilled labor job if you can't type. You can't get a job in the warehouse at Zappos if you can't type. Do you type?
Oh, I don't do it like how they teach you in schools,
Okay.
but I can do it pretty fast still.
Okay. So at a job, that's not good enough. So we teach people, we have a lot of people who are pretty good with
Yeah.
like that, but they are not really employable because you can't get much faster than a certain speed when you do this. And kind of the idea is, if you can't learn to type right, there's probably a lot of other things that you can't do either. So we teach people typing. And so do you know how to type? Okay. Do you know how fast?
It's kind of fast.
Kind of fast. Okay. So we had guys, 2 guys started school last week, and I said, "Can you type?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, how fast?" And one guy said, 100 words a minute. And I said, "No. No, you don't." Because our school record's like 115. And you know, it's pretty impressive. And the other guy said 66. I said, "I doubt it. You have to type at least 35. If you're my age, you have to type at least 35 words a minute. Your age, you have to type at least 50 words a minute because the expectation is higher. You learn to type younger. People my age don't really know how to, the presumption is we don't type. So you need to type about 50. Well, these 2 guys took their typing thing, and it turns out that they're about 15 words a minute. But they thought they were 60 and 100. So we teach people typing, and it's you have to do at least 35 words per minute. We teach people how to use computers, and we teach people how to use the cloud. And when we say the cloud, what does that mean to you? What's the cloud?
The internet?
Okay, what's the cloud?
Um,
No idea? You've never heard it?
well,
You just can't figure out what to say.
like if your pictures are on the computer, it's called the cloud.
Okay. CJ?
Yeah, man.
Hmm?
Google.
What's the cloud?
He's FBI, that's not him, he just walked out, he's Eric.
What
He
you,
should be back there
what
with
you
your
use, it
hand,
helps
he
you
should
with
finish.
getting a job and everything.
Okay. So what's the difference between the web and Web 2.0? Has anybody heard of that, Web 2.0? Okay, so here's what it turns out. It used to be, when the internet first came out, when people were able to do it, you were able to go there and look up things. Do a Google search. You just go there and you look up things. Web 2.0 is where you can interact on the internet. So you can collaborate, you can buy stuff. That's Web 2.0. And that's where the cloud basically resides. The cloud, well, before the cloud, if you wanted to do word processing, and you bought a computer at the store, what did you then have to do?
You would
Be
have
able
to
to do
find
it.
the program,
Correct. And where was the program stored?
either in the store or online or through the actual.
Yeah, but where is it stored on
Oh,
your-
this. Oh, I thought you meant the store.
Yeah.
On your hard drive.
Right, stored on the hard drive. And that's what a program is, right? It's something stored on your computer. Where are things stored on the cloud?
That's a good question.
Are they on your computer?
I don't know where. No, then.
Yeah, they're on the cloud. That's where they are. It's not stored on your computer anymore. So this is not a laptop. What is that?
Like a cloud.
Huh?
Cloud.
This machine right here.
Oh.
What's this?
My bad.
It's not a laptop. It's not a notebook. It looks like a notebook, right? What is it?
If it's not a laptop or.
This is a Chromebook. There's no hard drive.
No way.
Yeah, it's all internet. And when you turn it on, it comes up immediately. Computers take like 90 seconds, 2 minutes to get going. This is, when you're done, you close the lid. When you want to start, you open the lid, and in like 2 seconds, you're on the internet. And all of your stuff is stored on the internet. So this is being videoed, and it's being run down this cable, through the machine, out through that cable, and it's being stored on the internet on a YouTube server somewhere under my account. That's the cloud. So the cloud is, instead of having programs stored on the computer, you have them stored on the cloud, on the internet, and they're not called programs, they're called what?
EXE files?
No, that's a program,
Oh.
an executable. They're called apps. An app is a program that's stored on the cloud. Okay, it's a little bit, that's not quite precise, but it's good enough for our distinction of the cloud. So with Word, where is the program? Where's Word stored?
Cloud.
No, Word, Microsoft Word.
Where is it stored?
Yeah,
In the apps.
on your computer, on your hard drive, right? Okay, what is Google's version of Word? They have a version of Word. It's called Docs. Docs is like a Toyota compared to a Ferrari. You can do 80, do either of you know Word?
Yeah, I know.
Word? Okay. So Docs, you can do 80% of what you can do in Word 80% of the time, which for most of the people is way more than they need. But if you're a word power user, Docs is not, doesn't do everything you need. It's not really good at doing tables and things like that, but most people don't do tables. But Docs is stored not on the computer, it's stored on the cloud. That's why that machine doesn't have a hard drive. The cool thing about the cloud storage and having things like Docs is when you're doing a document and you're doing a Word file, right? You're working on your computer doing Word. What happens if you want to for me to see it? What has to happen?
You gotta send it to you.
Right. How?
Email.
Email. And how did people send stuff before email?
Mail. Or calling.
Thumb drive,
Oh. Yeah.
okay, floppy disk, zip drive, and then email came along and people could attach files. So if you did a document in Word and you wanted me to look at it, you would create it, save it, open up your email, attach it, send it to me. And then what would I do?
You would look on your flash drive?
No, she emailed it to me.
Oh, she emailed it to you?
Yeah.
You would go on your email and...
Go in my email, download the attachment, open it up in Word. And then I might reverse the process and send it back to you, right? And we could go back and forth a lot. Well, it turns out that on the cloud, all you need to do is share the file with me. You just go in and share. You just click a little button that says share, and then you put my email address. I get an email that says Dana's shared this file with you. Click. Now I click on it, I open the file up. If you're looking at the file, I see that you're looking at, you see that I'm on there. Hello.
Hello, can I sit here?
Yeah, sit wherever you want. Just I want to make sure you don't trip. So you're looking at the file, I'm looking at the file, you type a word, guess what I see?
That word?
Yeah, that word. It's collaborative, it's in real time. So isn't that much more cool that instead of you writing a document, attaching it to an email, sending it to me, I get the email, I open it, I download the attachment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and we go back and forth like playing ping pong. Isn't it better that we're both looking at the same document? And we can open a little chat window. You know, why did you say that? In a little chat box. Well, because I thought this is what, or we could be on the phone. And Google has an application called Voice. Well, they have two. One is called Voice and the other one's called Hangouts. And if I have a headset, I could be talking to you. And if I have a camera, we could be doing a video call, working on this document together. Isn't that cool? And anywhere I am in the world, I can get to that document. Where do I have to be to get the document that I did in Word?
On a computer.
I have to be on either the computer I wrote it on where it's on that hard drive, or I have to have a thumb drive to be able to, what? Pull it up, right. So the cloud makes doing business a lot easier. Do you agree with that? Just from that one little example? And all businesses are moving to the internet. All businesses. So at Larson, we teach people basic stuff like typing and how to use a computer, but you're not going to get a job just because you can type and know how to use a computer. Why? Because everybody else knows how to type and use a computer. And they might have more experience than you, right? So you need to have something that they don't have. And what we teach people is the cloud. And one of the 8 applications is maps. So what I want you to draw on your piece of paper, first of all, I want you to fold your piece of paper in half. Okay, and then put it down like it's a book. There you go. Okay, now what is your name again?
Talia.
Oh yeah. How do you spell it?
Tytaliayah.
And I can call you Leah.
Yes.
Right? There we go. Okay, so here's what I want you to draw is just a big plus sign on your paper, right down the middle. And what we're going to put on here are the 8 Google apps that we teach people how to use. Okay? So what's one, CJ?
Google Maps.
Maps. So put maps here. What's another Google app that people know? Okay, Hangouts is a sub-app for our purposes. Where do you find Hangouts? Where do you have to go to get that?
Google section.
Google what?
Apps.
Okay, Google Plus. So Google Plus is Hangouts, Circles, and Communities. And when it comes to Hangouts, there's 3 types. So what is the type that you know?
It's green.
Huh?
I just know it's green.
Okay, so one is SMS. What does that mean, Luke?
Texting.
Yeah,
or
short
messaging.
message service. So one type of a hangout is texting. Another type is voice. And another type is video. What's another Google app? This is the easy part.
Give me a second. I don't really have a computer at this point in time, so.
Okay.
Google Mail.
What's that called?
Email.
Gmail. Good. Gmail. And what's another one?
I'm trying to think of what apps on my phone.
Yeah, they're on your phone. Okay, what else? Okay, let's say Drive.
The Google Drive.
Okay, and Drive is storage. It's docs, sheets, and slides, and forms. So that's what Google Drive is. Now, what I want you to do is draw an X inside of it. And there's 4 more Google apps. What's one?
I don't know.
Okay. YouTube. Okay, does everybody know that YouTube is owned by Google? Okay, yeah, it is. YouTube, calendar. Voice. And let's see, what am I missing? Drive. Oh, Chrome. What is Chrome, CJ?
Maybe like a search engine.
No. What's Chrome? What's it like? Huh? Yeah, exactly. That's probably what you were thinking, right? But I put a box around Chrome because Chrome is really a program because it resides on your computer. So in our definition, a program is something that resides on the computer. Chrome is on your computer. So at Larson, at the school where I work, we teach these 8 Google apps. And when I come here, we focus on one of them. Today, as Luke said, our focus is maps. Unfortunately, we don't have access to the computer room, so we don't have computers in front of us. And CJ was here before, right? CJ, everybody had a nice, very cool computer. So we can't do maps. But I'm going to talk a little bit about these things, and I'm going to talk about the bigger perspective. And the biggest perspective for everyone here is what, Leah, that we talked about the last 2 weeks?
Fast?
Fast?
Is that what it is?
To fast?
No, not
To not
fast,
eat?
but the
Snap?
acronym. It's SNAP.
Okay. So you're right, but we're not going to talk too much about that today. So who knows how to play hangman? Okay. So we're looking for that. Okay.
H. Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
H.
my bad.
H. Nope.
Oh.
He said that's
E.
okay.
A.
A.
Okay, cause we still have the 3. Okay. Maybe.
G.
Could I
One.
use for services?
Oh.
Can I help you?
Okay.
Key.
Key.
You want a
Good.
tracker number?
No.
Okay.
Dead.
Huh?
C?
C. Okay, good guess.
What's his name?
No.
Where about the hint?
You
R.
want to see the name?
R.
Okay. Does he have an appointment? Okay. Okay.
U.
All right, I'll call you back.
Okay. You know it? Do you want to risk your bus pass?
Future.
Good. There you go.
Pretty safe.
Okay. So the most important thing is about the future. Right? Did we talk about that the last 2 weeks, Leah? That's the most important thing. That's the thing to either get really excited about or get really scared about. Because the future is way different than the present. Now, what's the first big thing you remember changing in your life? So like for me, when I was a kid, 10, we didn't have area codes. Telephones didn't have area codes. In fact, if somebody said, what's your phone number? You wouldn't say 846-5110. You'd say Victor 6-5110. That's how phones work. So if you ever watch an old movie, black and white movie, and they say, what's phone number? They didn't say area code 702, blah, 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 blah. It was just, some word, Victor 6-5110, something like that. So what's the first big thing you remember?
Well, it's not really like, well, there's the dances that kids are coming up with.
Technology.
Yeah.
Say technology. What's the first technology thing?
my sister has like a phone, she knows how to download things, and
Okay.
I don't.
So smartphone, that's the first. How about email? Did
She
you
don't-
grow up and everybody had email?
Yeah.
So you don't remember like, wow, email, that's cool.
Facebook.
Okay, Facebook. And you said smartphone? You know, anybody ever notice people walking around with smartphones? Now, looking at their smartphone, you ever notice that? You don't have a smartphone?
No.
Okay. Never had one?
I did have one, but not for a while.
Okay. So you notice wherever you go, people are looking at their smartphone? How many people were looking at their smartphones 10 years ago?
Nobody.
Nobody. There weren't smartphones 10 years ago. So in 10 years, it went from nobody had a smartphone, nobody looked at a smartphone, to now everybody that has a smartphone. See, I have to have my smartphone out just in case. It's totally taken over control. What's another thing that's new in your lifetime? Car?
Well, I mean, there were cars, but the technology in the cars now.
Okay. Tesla. Prius, battery-powered cars, new. Okay. When I was a kid, there were no zip codes. I grew up in California.
I'd never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Wow.
I grew up in California, and you didn't have a zip code. It was just Pleasanton, California, and we'd get there. Cable TV, no. Microwaves, no. Cell phones, no. Last week I was talking about when I was a kid and a jet would go up across the sky, people would say, hey, look, there's a jet, because it was so rare. When's the last time you ever did that? Never? Yeah, because it's just normal, right? Well, what's going to happen in the future? People are going to say, let's go look at that thing. If it happened today, what would we all go outside and look at? A drone. Right? That's going to change everything. That's part of the future. So, as much as things have changed, there's a lot of things I can say. Seat belts, cable TV, zip code, area code, microwave, internet, email, common jet travel, a lot of things I can name. The things that I can name are nothing compared to the changes that are going to happen in the next 20 years. So the next 20 years for you four people, it's going to be much different. So that's a thing to get very excited about, or it's a thing to get very worried about. I deal with a guy who refuses to learn how to use the internet. And the only reason he has a cell phone is so that people can call him. But he won't call, he won't text, he won't email, he won't do anything like that. It's just if somebody calls him, or I guess if an emergency. Okay, those people are dinosaurs. But the future is changing. There's three big things that we focus on at the school that are changing it the most. And and you can choose to be excited or not excited. And the other thing you have to choose is what kind of a person do you want to be. So there's three types of people. There's three basic types of people. One person is the person who makes things happen. Okay, what's another type? Would you guess? So it's not makes things happen.
Someone who follows someone.
Oh, sort of. So it's people who watch things happen. Okay, and that includes people who say, you know, I go on vacation and I experience stuff. I like going to concerts. I like going to games. They watch things happen. Okay, if you go on a vacation, you go to a concert, you go to a game, you go to a movie, you're not making things happen, you're watching things happen. Most of the people watch things happen. And they go get a job, and that gives them money to do what? No.
To make things happen.
It gives them money to watch things happen. Okay? Because most people, do you think most people love their job or not?
I don't
Most
think
like
much.
their job.
Hmm?
Most
Most don't
don't like their job.
like their job. What do you say?
Most don't like their
What do you
job.
say?
Most don't.
Most don't like their job. Do you know why? What do you say?
No, they don't like it.
Yeah, okay. Do you know why? Because they got caught in this thing of watching things happen. So they got a job because they had to pay bills. They didn't like the job. So you earn a reward when you do something that you don't want to do or you do something special, right? So a company started to reward people for their bad life, for putting up with their bad life. And that company got really, really successful. And that company is called Starbucks. Ever been there? You like it? Go there whenever you can? It's like my daughter. Okay. So why do people do it? Why do people spend $5? How much do you spend?
$5, but
Okay.
it's too close to 15.
Okay, so you get like a venti double whip, some crazy name?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So why do people do that? Turns out people do it because it's a reward. It's because my life sucks or I'm not happy and I earned it. I have this crappy job. My boss is a mean guy. He's stupid. He's an idiot, whatever. I have lousy coworkers and I earned this. And Starbucks got so good at that, convincing people you've earned this, that now they have a Starbucks on this side of the street for when you're going to work, and they have a Starbucks on that side of the street for when you're coming home. Because people really don't want to have to go to the other side of the street. And they found out if we spend the money to build a second Starbucks, we'll make more money than forcing people to come to this Starbucks at the end of the day. Now let's say you're one of those people that goes to Starbucks every day. You need a daily reward. And you go to work 5 days a week. So how much would you spend if it's $5 a day?
$25.
$25. And let's say you work 50 weeks out of the year. So you spend $25 a week times 50 weeks. What's 5 times 2?
100. Or 10, not bad.
Okay, so add a 0, 1,000. What's 5 times 5?
25.
25. Oops. So if you spend $5 a day at Starbucks, you're going to spend $1,250 a year. Now, what would you do at Christmas time if you had an extra $1,250? How would Christmas be?
Pretty great.
Pretty great. You know, how would people think about you?
Pretty greatly.
Yeah, they'd be, wow, cool, look what I got. We would rather reward ourselves for our crappy life, $5 a day, than save that money and really get a good value out of it or buy something for yourself. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can buy for $1,200, right? That's just $5 a day. Why do we do that? Because we're crazy? No, we do it because we don't like our jobs, we don't like our life, and this is the thing that makes up for it. Then here's the other thing that people do. They have these crappy jobs. They go, on weekends, they go to Costco, they go to Walmart, and they do what? They spend what?
Money.
The rest of their money. They live paycheck to paycheck. They spend the rest of their money, they buy stuff because what? It makes them feel good about their crappy life. because they hate their work. And they spend 40, 50 hours a week working. And I know that because when I was a kid, another thing that we didn't have was Walmart. We had Sears, which you guys probably don't know, right? We used to be the biggest retailer in the world. We had Sears, but people would go there because they needed something. You need a pair of pants, you need whatever, JCPenney, Kmart. You needed something, so you went there because they had it. People go to Walmart because they have money, not because they need stuff. It's okay, good. I've got some money, what do I want? Can you find something to buy at Walmart? If you're going there to spend your money, can you find something?
Yeah.
Can you not find something? No, you can't not find something. And that's why Walmart is now the largest retailer in the world, because they've changed the strategy from we have what you need to we have stuff and we're going to convince you that you're going to feel better if you buy it. Another thing that we didn't have when I was a kid was mini storage units. There was no such thing as public stores. They didn't have those. Why? Why didn't they have those? Because people's houses were bigger?
No, because people didn't buy it.
People didn't buy stuff like they do now. There wasn't constant television commercials telling you basically you're going to feel better if you drive this car or whatever commercial's on. Basically say the same thing. You're going to feel better if you buy what we have. So people go out buying stuff because they think it's going to make them happy. And after a short period of time, what happens? Do they feel happy? No, they go back the next week. That's called hedonic adaptation. Okay, we all do it. It's like you have your favorite song, your favorite band, your favorite food. If you have it too much, what happens?
You get sick of it.
Yeah, it's not your favorite anymore. And then, it ultimately gets to the point of, oh God, I hate that song, right? That's called hedonic adaptation. We're all subject to that, and any commercial on TV is trying to connect to this. But the starting point is you're not happy with what you do, and you need something external to get you to be happy. What do you think that people who are happy with their jobs do with their extra money?
Use it to make
They
more
invest it, right. Do they go to Walmart?
No.
Well, they do because it's cheaper.
money. Or they buy stock in Walmart.
They go there, so I go to Walmart because I need hygiene or I need whatever. I got my daughters, they need stuff, whatever they need. It's because we need stuff, and Walmart's cheaper than Target.
Target.
Okay? Costco for bulk stuff is very good. Do I go to Target and buy a trampoline and raft and other stuff they have there and funny kind of food that they have out on display? Hey, try this food. Have you been to Costco? Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been to Costco, right? Why do you think they have those people handing out food?
So you buy it.
Because they want to make sure people aren't hungry? Is it like Salvation Army? Come here, we'll give you food. Have lunch at Costco? No, because they want you to buy it. Try it, you'll buy it, and also there's this psychological thing that is called reciprocity. So in our culture, if I do something nice for you, what are you supposed to do?
Return a favor.
Yeah, you're supposed to return a favor. So they don't give you stuff at Costco because they're being nice. They're doing it because they're manipulating you, trying to manipulate you into doing what they want, which is buying stuff. So it's either try the food, oh, this food is good, you're hungry, okay, I'm gonna grab it. Do you need it? No, right? You don't need that stuff. Or it's they're gonna hook into, we're raised to be polite and return a favor. So I'm gonna give you a cracker with cream cheese on it, and you're gonna reciprocate, not by giving me a cracker, but you're gonna reciprocate by doing what?
Buying the crackers and cream cheese.
Yeah, buying $10 worth of stuff because I gave you a little cracker. So that's what hedonic adaptation is. We get used to this stuff, but the key thing, the take home, is avoid a job that you don't like. Because if you have a job you don't like, you're going to get locked into this cycle of, I need something to make me feel better because I'll kill myself if I have to keep doing this every day. Something I hate. So I need just a little something, something. I need Starbucks or whatever. There's something I need because I hate my life. It's not what I wanted to be when I grew up. And then once you get a paycheck, you take your paycheck to the store and you spend it on stuff you don't need. So what's the solution to that? How do you break that cycle?
Change.
Change what?
Use spending habits.
Well,
Not a-
you're not going to trade your spending habits. So your job sucks,
Change your career.
and then you buy treats, buy reward.
I know. I think it's more busier than Friday, don't you? Yes. Thursday.
This was a really good place to sleep like today.
You have no money, so you go back to a job that sucks. Okay? So that's how it works. You have a job that sucks, so you need to get little rewards every day, like Starbucks. That gets you to go to work. That gives you a paycheck, right? So I could put that in here. Okay. So now you have a check. You're not happy. You need to get happy. So you go to the store and you buy stuff. Then what don't you have? Yeah, you don't have money, so what do you have to do now? Go back to the job that sucks. Okay? So how do we break this cycle? You can't just say, well, I'm not going to reward myself. That doesn't work. Might work for a little while, but it really doesn't work. Because now what you have is a job that sucks, you have no reward, you have to do a job that sucks, then you're just going to spend the extra money over here because now you really deserve it. It's like people who go on a diet, they diet for 3 or 4 days, then they say, well, I deserve to have 2 pieces of chocolate cake and ice cream. And they wipe out all of the progress they made before that because they can't help it. Okay, so how do we break this cycle?
Get a job you love.
Get a job that doesn't suck, and ideally a job that you love. So imagine you got a job working in a stamp company that's for people that were collected stamps. Okay, and you were neutral to it. A friend of your father's had a stamp store. He was looking for somebody. You weren't busy. And you say, okay, sounds all right. I'll go in there. And then you started seeing stamps and you liked it. What would you start doing?
Collecting stamps.
Yeah, you'd start collecting stamps too. You'd start investing your money to buy stamps because what happens with stamps? What should happen?
They get more value.
Yeah, it's an investment. You have these stamp collections that just get to be really valuable. So that's and then you end up liking your job, right? Which is why you start buying stamps in the first place, because it's, hey, this is kind of cool. I like this. I never really thought about stamps before. Now that I'm looking at these stamps, I'm talking to people who love stamps. I love stamps. Then do you think you're going to go spend your money on a Starbucks? No, what are you going to say?
Like, buy stamps.
Yeah, you're going to say, God, for this $5 I could go buy, or for $20 I could buy this particular stamp with a peacock on it that was made in Germany in 1905 for $10. And you're going to feel good having that stamp. And every time you look at that stamp, how are you going to feel?
Good.
How are you going to feel when that Starbucks cup is empty?
Disappointed.
Yeah, maybe full, right? Maybe satisfied for a little while. But if the Starbucks cup is sitting in the cup holder in your car, and you get back in your car 2 hours later, and it's empty, you don't say, God, I feel great, I have an empty Starbucks cup in my car, right? You can't look at it and feel good, but if you buy a stamp, you do. So this cycle is you don't buy this reward, you have your stamp, you get paid, and then you save your money because you don't feel this need to go buy stuff. because you're unhappy with this. So the key thing is to find something that you love to do. And that's fundamentally what we do at our school. It's called our employment planning workshop. And it starts with, what do you love to do? Turn this a little bit. What do you love to do? So if you had a hobby, do you have a hobby? Do you have a hobby?
I dance.
Okay, I guess that can be a hobby. Okay. You don't have a hobby?
Not really.
Knitting, poetry, songs,
Bowling.
bowling. Okay.
Um,
What's your hobby?
Skating, but I don't have a skateboard.
Okay.
I don't really have like a hobby I'm doing at this moment. I play video games. I guess you
Okay.
could call that a hobby.
Okay.
Playing basketball.
Playing basketball, but you can't play because of your Achilles tendon, right? Okay. So, or what would you do if you could do anything? What would you want to do? How would you want to spend your time?
Make money.
Okay. How? Selling drugs?
Nah.
Well, you can make money selling drugs.
Being a
Stealing, robbing people?
Being a lucrative entrepreneur.
Okay. Doing what?
Anything from the entertainment industry to
Okay.
real estate.
So you got to find something you're passionate about. You can't just say making money, because then somebody says, "Oh, stealing cars,
Yeah.
dealing drugs, robbing people." You can make good money, fast money that way, right? That's fast money. Just go put a gun in somebody's face and say, "Give me your wallet." Okay. Sell drugs. You know, that might take a little bit longer. I guess it depends where you are when you're selling. Not really a good long-term strategy. And it's not really socially acceptable to do that. Okay, so you like video games and skateboarding. Okay. Do you know who Pootie Pie is? Do you know? Okay. This is a guy, I don't remember how old he is now. He might be 20, might be early 20s. He plays video games on the internet.
Oh, I know who you're
With the
talking
headset
about.
on, he's talking about
Oh,
the
yeah.
game.
Live action gamers.
Okay, what is so significant about him?
That he streams live action video games.
Okay, but
And-
that's what he does. What's so significant about that?
He makes it where you want to play.
Okay, but what's that turn into? He made like $10 million doing that
Playing video games.
because people would advertise
They
and
make
pay him
money
because
from
he had
videos
people
they
watching
do.
him, huh?
They make money from the videos they get on YouTube.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
every like 100,000, I think they get like some sort of budget, like.
Seriously?
I
There's a
forgot
lot of
how
ways.
much.
There's a lot of ways. But YouTube will pay you. You can monetize your videos.
Oh, my brother
You
did
can
that.
let them put
People-
commercials in it and do all kinds of stuff.
Oh, man.
But this guy made about 10 million, maybe more than, maybe 14 million. An obscene amount of money playing video games with the headset on, trash talking as he's playing the game.
Well, that's like Dashy. My brothers watch Dashy.
Okay.
And he does the same thing. Like, he plays the video games and trash talk. And
Okay.
they think it's funny.
Yeah. So they do something that they're passionate about and love. Do you think he needs to go to Starbucks to feel good about his life? No. He might go to Starbucks for a different reason. He might say, because I love the whatever drink he has. I just love it. I crave it. It's not about money. It's not about a reward. It's just I love it. And I'll come here 10 times a day. Okay. So to break this chain, you have to find something that you like doing. And the starting question is, what do I like to do? If I could do anything, what would I do? So what would you do if you could do anything?
Probably skate.
Okay. Skateboard?
Yeah, make money off skating.
Okay, like how?
Enter competitions.
Okay.
Do tricks, whatnot.
Okay. So then what you would have to do is compare yourself to other people.
Yeah, and also get sponsored.
Okay, so, but if you're gonna do that, you have to be different or better than other people who are doing it. Because if you're not as good as Pootie Pie and you're trash talking, is anybody gonna watch that?
No.
No. So you can't be like the second best
Yeah.
skateboarding, you can't copy people.
Yeah, you have to be.
You can't be one of these people that's watching things happen. Basically, if you're not making things happen and you're copying somebody, that's like watching. Okay? So we'll go to the third one. What's the third type of person? So the best person is somebody who makes things happen. The next person is somebody who watches things happen. And it doesn't mean you don't have money. It doesn't mean you're not happy in life. It's just you're a person who doesn't make things happen. You like watching things happen, and you have maybe a lot of money that you can watch things happen. You can go to Hawaii and watch the sunset, watch the beach, watch people. You're basically participating in somebody else's adventure. That's watching things happen. What's the third? So what's the trend?
Stop them from happening.
No, that would be a fourth one, but there's not very many people like that. That's like these guys that go to movie theaters and shoot up people. Okay? It's people who wonder what happened. That's the third type of people, also known as AKA sheeple. Okay, they just go through life. They're not participating, watching, not making things happen. They're just being pulled along. They're just like sheep, and they don't really even have any idea what's going on. They don't know that they go to Starbucks because it's a reward. They don't know they go to Walmart because it makes them feel good about their life that's crappy. They do know they don't like their job. They know that. But they don't know how to change that. Is it bad working at Starbucks, or not Starbucks, 7-Eleven? What's a job you would say is bad that you wouldn't want to do?
McDonald's.
Okay. Okay, not do very many 7-year-old kids, when they say in the second grade, what do you want to do when you grow up? Do many kids say, I want to work at McDonald's?
No.
No. So, is working at McDonald's bad?
No.
Why not?
Because it's a good, like, job when you're in high school or coming out of school.
Well, let's say it's your career.
Okay, then no. It can be good, but no. Not
Okay,
if
well,
you stay at the bottom of the
the
chain.
answer is, what they teach you in law school, I think we talked about it, is what? It was a different class I was doing. It depends. Working at McDonald's sucks if that's your life and you're in this thing. How about working at the DMV? Do you drive? You don't have your license yet, you haven't had to experience the DMV?
No, I experienced it, but I don't drive yet.
Okay, so how would you like to work at the DMV?
No.
Yeah, how about you? Okay, so those are people, their job sucks. They need a quick reward every day, beginning and at the end of the day. And then on their weekends, when they have some freedom, they go shopping because it makes them feel good. McDonald's doesn't suck if it's part of a plan. I want to have my own hamburger restaurant one day, and I want to learn the hamburger business. Would McDonald's be a good place to learn the hamburger business? If you want to grow a big company and have a lot of stores?
Like for a start though, I wouldn't want to like keep that like going. I wouldn't want to keep working at McDonald's.
No, but it's a stepping stone.
Yeah,
It's part of
yeah,
a plan.
It's
Part of a plan. Working at McDonald's, my plan is I want to own a hamburger. I want to build a hamburger chain. It's not my personal plan, example. My plan is I want to have a hamburger chain. But I don't want to have to learn everything myself. I want to learn what the best company does or a good company does, and then I'm going to improve upon it. Is that a good plan? If you want to be in the hamburger business?
Yeah.
That's a great plan if you want to be in the hamburger business. So working at McDonald's is not bad. How about telemarketing? You want to work in a telemarketing company?
No, not really.
When would you want to work at a telemarketing company?
I would talk to Tommy. Okay, like it was a young man sitting here waiting.
Yeah, Eric.
I wouldn't really want to ever like.
Okay. Wrong answer. answer.
thinking about it.
Okay. Let's say you wanted to develop a certain type of skateboard, and you wanted to build it and you wanted to sell it. If you knew how to call people and talk on the phone, do you think that would be a good skill to help
yeah.
you sell skateboards?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. When I went to law school, a lot of guys in law school at night had to have jobs. They had to pay their bills. Their parents didn't pay. They had to pay bills. They didn't go get a loan to pay that. They had to pay their bills. So what do you think a job that somebody in law school would do after school?
Anything that gives you hours.
No, not anything.
Or
Killing cattle,
no.
working in a slaughterhouse,
I mean, just
working
a
in a
job
mortuary.
that gives you hours. Cause some jobs they'll hire you, but
Telemarketing. Think you want to go to law school all day and work at a telemarketing company at night? No. So a lot of guys in law school get jobs as bartenders. Why would you do that if you're in law school? Anybody ever see a bartender? You know what a bartender is, right? Is your dad a bartender? Okay. What does he do?
He's a heavy equipment operator.
Oh, okay, cool. So what's the thing about being a bartender? Why do people go to bars?
To get drunk.
Well, some, but not all.
to reward
Just
themselves.
socialize.
Yeah, because they want to. You go to work because you have to, right? You go to a bar because you want to, which means you want to have a good time. Okay? So if you're a guy that goes to law school and you have to do all this studying all the time and your brain is being used, you don't want a job that you have to use more of your brain, right? You want a job where people like having fun. And unfortunately, that's not being a waiter, because people get upset if you don't get their orders right. They're very picky in particular. Hey, come over here. But a bartender, it's not hard, right? It's not really hard to be a bartender. You know, normal bartender, not one of the professional bartenders. Not hard to do. People want to go there and have a good time, and so you can kind of unwind. Huh? Why would you go to law school to be a bartender? Well, I don't go to law school to be a bartender. I'm a bartender as part of my plan to get through law school, because I need to pay my bills. And I want to have a job that is not a big learning, and I have big hassles, and I have big trauma, and I don't have any of that stuff. I can quit quickly, and they can replace me, and it's no big deal. And they like having me there because somebody's in law school is pretty smart, and they can figure out how to do stuff, and you can depend upon them, and they can talk to customers about stuff because they know stuff. What if my thing in life was I just was a bartender? That could suck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know anything else, because I do this, I get this, I do this, and I'm back to this. So that is pretty much people who wonder what happened. They don't know why they can't get another job. Well, they know why they can't get another job, because they don't have money to go look for a job, and they can't take time off to look for a job. And whenever they look, they don't have any skills, and nobody's hiring them anyway. It's because they don't have a plan. And the plan is you need to start with, what do I want to do? So if you want to do skateboarding, then you should be thinking of, well, what can I make happen in the skateboarding business? Because I'm not going to make money by watching things happen in the skateboarding business. I can't be the second best guy. The second best PewDiePie doesn't make almost as much money. He makes no money, because PewDiePie takes all the money. So you have to figure out, what can I do to make things happen? We had somebody in here last week who said she wanted to do what?
Dental or something.
Dental, cleaning teeth. And I said, okay, why? Well, then what? Because that sounds like a job sucks job to me. Cleaning people's teeth all day?
Sounds gross.
Yeah. Okay, she wants to do it. In her mind, the image is that's like being a doctor, but it's not really being a doctor. And then maybe I can go to dental school. So I said, well, what did I say, CJ?
She could start her own private practice and
Doing what?
getting a vehicle and going from different places. And
Get an RV,
hiring people.
Fix it up to be a mobile teeth cleaning business. And go to places where there's a lot of people and say, I'll clean your teeth for $5. Do you think a lot of people would pay $5 to have their teeth cleaned?
Yeah.
Absolutely, especially if it's right out in the parking lot. It's in the mall, it's in the parking lot of the mall. They have these signs that say teeth cleaning, $5. Petsa, ADA, American Dental Association, newest technique, something like that. Would people pay $5? How many people did she say she could do a day?
50 or 100.
100. She said she could do 100 teeth a day. How much is that? $500 a day. And then what did I say?
She could start hiring people.
Yeah, and then she could hire people and say, I'll give you $250 a day. If somebody wanted to be dental assistant getting $250 a day, would that be good? Huh? Yeah. If you made $250 off of somebody, you gave them $250 and you were making $250, would that be good?
You made 500 off of it.
Well, that person brought in 500. You let them keep 250. You make 250, but you're doing what? You're making 500. Now, what was the other thing I said you could do?
You could sell. I mean, people will pay you for.
You get a dentist and you say, if I give you referrals, will you give me $50 per referral? You think a dentist would do that?
Definitely.
All day long. So we figured out she could be making $1,000 a day. And all she has to pay for is the RV. Where does she get the RV?
Used car lot.
Yeah, but she doesn't have any money. We didn't get to that part because I didn't want to tell her the whole secret.
She takes out a loan.
She doesn't have any money to get a loan.
Oh.
But you're on the right track.
She
So this is the target.
GoFundMe account or something.
You're like over here.
Oh.
Okay, so that could be a thing to try as a GoFundMe account, but she probably won't do that because she might need, say, 20 grand for a used RV that's been remodeled to have some cleaning dentist chairs, things, that kind of junk in it. Where does she get the 20 grand?
By getting a grant.
Okay, good guess. No.
The bank?
She doesn't have any collateral. She doesn't have, the bank isn't going to give her money. Banks only lend money to people who don't need money.
By selling something.
What? Drugs?
No, not
Back to drugs?
No, it can. She sold her car.
Who would want to help her
Doctors.
get the vehicle? The dentist. She does her research, she gets 3 dentist companies lined up and she says, here's what I'm going to do. I'll go get you these referrals, but you need to go borrow the money and get a van for me to do this in. Is it going to cost him $20,000 cash?
No.
No. What's it going to cost?
About 8 or 10.
My hunch is cash out of pocket 3 because he's going to finance the rest. Because he's got credit at his bank. Because he doesn't need money because they have a lot of patients coming in. Okay, so he says, okay, here's the keys, but it's my van. You screw up. You leave, I get somebody to replace you. Because now that I know how to do it, it's not hard to get a dental person to clean teeth. So you want to have a contract, right? So at SNAP you learn how to do contracts, but you want to have a contract with the dentist.
To protect them from taking your idea and reproduce.
Well, that's an expensive one. You just want to have a contract that says, if I do this, we have a long-term deal. We've got a 3-year deal.
And I get to get the van at the end of the deal.
That would be a negotiating point that you'd want to have, but in reality, if I was going to split at the end of 3 years, I'd want the dentist to keep the van. I want to go get a new van. So when my van and his van are both in the parking lot, who's got the new van?
Yeah.
Because what are sheeple What are sheep going to be attracted to? The new van or the old van?
No.
New one.
Yeah, they're going to think that the age of the van has something to do with the quality of my teeth cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay? So I might want him to have the van, but I might put it in there as a reverse psychology trick on him. Okay? Very doable business. We talked about drones are coming out. Drones are out, they're going to change everything. It's mainly going to be for what?
Surveillance.
Okay, so now that's an interesting one. One day, all security guard companies are going to be using drones to do security instead of people. Why? Cheaper. A drone can do in 3 minutes what a security guard does in 30. And they can do more stealth, right? You might not see the drone coming. They can have better hearing, better vision with the cameras. They're recording it, what's going on, better evidence in court.
Plus, they don't even pay someone.
Correct. You get stabbed, you're lying on the ground, the drone can come over there and find out, hey, are you okay, what happened? So then they call back to the, what? Ambulance and say, we got a guy who's cut, he's bleeding, hurry up. Versus there's a guy laying down on the road, we don't know what's going on with him, we're not there yet. So one day, all security companies are going to have drones. What are they going to need?
People to watch the cameras, monitor the drone. I mean, maintenance.
Fly the drones, right?
Yeah.
The drone will have its pattern, and yeah, as CJ said, you can just be watching the monitors because it has a pre-programmed thing. I'm going to do this, 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 then I'm going to go up and I'm going to do a loop because I need to get that angle down there. And I'm going to do this turn, this crazy stuff. I'm going to do all of this stuff that you program in. So the drone is just doing this crazy pattern until something happens. It sees something. Can you program a drone to recognize motion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're going through this empty building drone. Nothing should be moving. If something's moving, flash on the screen. Warning, warning. So I know. Okay, because these cameras, how can a camera tell depth? How do humans tell depth? How do we know how far away something is? We have little measuring sticks. Huh? But how do we do that? What's that called? Depth perception. Okay, what is it? How does depth perception work? I'm giving you a hint.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
So depth perception works because you have two eyes and they focus on a point, and our brains have been learned to gauge how far away that is based upon focusing. That's how we tell the difference. If you only had one eye and you grew up having one eye, it would be very hard to know if something was 5 feet away or 6 feet away. Is it hard to know now what 5 feet or 6? No, once you know what 5 feet is and what 6 feet is, oh yeah, that thing's 5 feet away, that thing's 4 feet away. Okay, do cameras do that?
No.
No, cameras don't have two cameras. How do they tell depth?
With the lens.
Okay, how?
Measurements of how far it zooms in or out.
Okay, you're on the target. So it's like people who are fighter pilots are taught a trick to tell whether something is going away from you or coming towards you. What do you think they do? Something's coming towards you. What does it look like?
Bigger.
It's getting bigger. Right? If it's going away, what happens? It gets smaller. So for us, we see that as this, right? Because of our depth perception. Oh, it's going away from us because it's getting smaller. A camera sees it this way. It's getting smaller or bigger. So they could see movement by seeing whether something is changing on their screen. You know, is it getting bigger? Is it getting smaller? Is it moving across my screen when these walls are all not moving? I'm moving, the drone, I'm moving, the walls are standing still. Wait a second, something else just moved across my screen. That's how they do it. That's not how we do it, but that's how they do it. And they can do it better than we can. In fact, the second big change is self-driving cars. Self-driving cars will be able to drive 6 inches away from one another at 100 miles an hour. Why?
Because it's technology and it's accurate.
Yeah, because they can process that. Is it getting further or closer 100 times a second? And they can change the speed of this car almost instantaneously. So when this guy changes speed, this guy can change speed to match. This guy goes faster, this guy does the same thing, because they can do 100 calculations a second. We can do about 4 if we're paying attention. We don't have a big attention span. So last week we were talking about drones. This other business came up having to do with drones. What was it, CJ? What was it, Leah? There's only 2 people that do this right now. Or as of last week, 2 companies did this.
Okay, what's the question again?
So last week I talked about another project that had to do with drones.
What's that, mail?
Huh?
Mail? Like mail delivery, UPS?
Okay, package delivery. And we did talk about security guards, and we talked about safety on job construction projects, having drones flying around, making sure people have their helmets on and stuff like that. But the other one was drone golf.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how to play golf? Okay. Do you know how to play golf?
No, I don't know the rules.
Okay, so the rules are simple. Get the ball in the hole and release number of strokes.
All right.
Okay, and you can use any club you want, but some clubs are better than other clubs. So you have to learn how to hit the ball. So how would drone golf work?
You can't hover over it, but you would take the ball.
So drone golf, you want to get the ball closest to the hole, but a rule is you can't hover over the hole. So you can't fly your drone in, slow down, there's the hole, drop. You can't do that. You have to keep moving. So the drone has to be going at a certain speed. So if you want the ball to roll, what do you want the trajectory of the drone to be like?
At an angle? Or moving forward?
Moving forward, because then when you release the ball, what happens? It's going to roll, right? Just like if you throw the ball, it's going to roll once it lands. Okay, what if you don't want the ball to roll when you drop it? Can you go bzzz and stop and release?
No, it's
No,
still
because it's still going to do it. So what do you have to do?
Be accurate.
You don't want the ball to roll when you drop it.
You gotta.
You're moving
let go
forward,
of the
but
ball.
then what do you need to do?
Measure.
pointed at an angle.
What angle?
Alright.
Crash your drone into the ground?
No, you'd be more slick about it though. You'd be like, you would let it drop and then you kind of let the drone keep flying and then the ball is dropped already.
Okay, so that would be one way to try. Another way would be you're flying along and you get your drone to go straight up in the air. And then you drop it. What happens?
Oh yeah.
Straight down.
It's just going to go straight down, right? Or maybe you want it to go backwards and you go, you overshoot it. So you fly back, right? And you could drop it and then flip back over this way and then drop it. So it could be an exciting sport. Would you still get your exercise?
No.
No?
Well,
I don't
yes,
think you
'cause
would.
you're still
You wouldn't get as much because you're not swinging your club, but you're walking.
You're still using your hands to control the drum.
Huh?
You're still using your hands to control.
Yeah, but not like swinging a golf club. You're strengthening your fingers. Okay? But it would be a good fun game because you could drink while you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like people do when they play golf, big reason to play golf. So that's a new thing that in the future, that's a future thing that's happening right now. At some point in the future, everybody's going to know about drone golf. Did you know about drone golf before today? No. More and more of that stuff is going to happen in the future. So you can be really excited about the future because there's a lot of things you can do. Or you can be worried about the future because you're a sheeple, you have a dead-end job. Let's say you work at McDonald's. 20 years from now, how many people are going to be working at McDonald's?
Probably not one.
Why?
Because McDonald's will be outdated. and
Okay,
it'll
let's
be
say McDonald's
overcome-
is not outdated. Let's
Oh.
say there's the same number of McDonald's restaurants as there are today, and they're making the same amount of money.
True.
Yeah, you're not going to have people
Oh,
because it can be automated. Would you want to have that job? What happens if you go from this job that sucks at McDonald's, you've been doing it for 15 years, and it disappears, now what?
You ain't got no job.
You have no job at McDonald's, but you have probably nowhere else either, right? Now, life really sucks. So you don't want to start the thing of getting into an unskilled job, because which jobs do you think are going to go first? Skilled jobs or unskilled? Unskilled jobs are going to go first. So why would you want to get an unskilled job? Why do people do it? You kind of alluded to it earlier, and so did you.
They need the money.
Yeah, I need the money. And they get caught in this trap because virtually everybody does. Out of 1 million people, probably all but 500 get caught in this cycle because you're being bombarded with it all the time. Other people tell you, I love Starbucks. Oh God, this is great. You see Starbucks commercials, you see Starbucks signs, you see Starbucks everywhere, right? You have all this pressure for Starbucks, and you try it and you like it. So this is really hard to break. And really the only way to break it is to do what?
Stop. That's it.
Is to do stop what?
Repeating the cycle.
How?
Take a risk.
You gotta become one of these people. Or go work for somebody who's this. Go work for the drone company, the guy that does the drones. Be a sales guy for him. Okay, so what could we do for skateboarding that's gonna make things happen? Is there any skateboarding drone stuff?
not that I'm aware of.
I mean, can there be any?
Yeah.
Can there be?
Yeah. If we got a motor, you can put a GPS on it and it drives
On your
itself.
skateboard?
Yeah.
Okay.
If a car could drive itself, they already got other
Okay,
things.
but what's the fun of a skateboard driving itself?
I seen this dude the other day, it didn't drive itself, but it had a motor, but it was, I would think it'd be cool.
Okay.
Something
So-
like riding a motorcycle.
Maybe the connection between a drone and skateboarding is filming
Oh,
skateboarding. Because you can have the drone in places where a normal person filming couldn't be,
Yeah.
right? You could be doing a trick and that drone just happens to be hovering right at the ideal spot where a person can't be. And then it does whatever. You know, maybe that. Maybe this is some kind of drone delivery company. So I think in the future, people that like to bake, that like baking desserts, will have a company that's wehavethebestdesserts.com, and we'll deliver the dessert to your house by drone or wherever you want. What do you think of that? If you were going to cook dinner, have a date at your house or something, cook dinner, and you wanted to have a special dessert, would you want to go to Walmart and get it? Would you want to go to Smith's? Where would you get it? Good Earth? Whole Foods? Where would you get a really good dessert that's not ice cream?
Are you gonna buy it yourself or are you gonna make?
Well, if you're going to make it, it's not going to be really good unless you're a baker.
baking.
No, not really
trying
good.
things.
Not really good.
Bakery,
Bakery.
or a place that specializes in.
Now you gotta go there, you gotta do this, it's this big hassle. Wouldn't you rather have the, and then you buy a bigger cake than you would, because you're not gonna drive all the way to the bakery just to get 2 little special things. But wouldn't it be cool if it's, okay, honey, dessert is coming, dessert's gonna be here in 10 minutes, because you just found out on your smartphone that you want it delivered 10 minutes from now. And I ordered a special dessert for us. What do you think of that? Good? That's $1 million business for people that have bakeries, that are professional bakers, but they can't get to the customers. Right? Let's say you make these special cupcakes, they're $5 each. You want to sell them for $5 each. Right? How, if you want to sell the cupcake for $5 each and you have to deliver it, what is it really going to cost you? You're going to probably have to sell it for $15, because you have the cost of the person who's delivering, you have the cost of the, well, however you're delivering it. It's probably going to cost $15. But how much did we figure a drone would cost?
Like 3,000-4,000.
I mean, per delivery. $1.
Yeah, that's it.
You could have something delivered by a drone for $1. Now, would that be cool? Okay. So what business are you passionate about? Or what thing?
Like career,
Anything that you like to do.
orthodontist.
Aha. So you want to be an orthodontist? You want to go to orthodontia school? Okay, so you graduate from Liberty and you go to college?
Not yet.
Why not?
Um,
You don't know why you don't go to college? Okay, you mean you don't want to say?
no, I mean the money issue.
Okay. Some things you can only do if you go to college. Mainly, we say to people, college is a waste of time and money. Only 39% of people who start at UNLV ever graduate, or graduate within 6 years. And they spent at least $96,000 to get to that point. Not really a good strategy. So what could you do with orthodontia without having to go to medical school, dental school? What is it about orthodontia you like?
The teeth, fixing people's smiles.
Huh?
Fixing people's smiles.
Okay. So you like working on people.
Yeah.
You don't, seeing the inside of people's mouth doesn't bother you.
No.
Okay. What did you think about the teeth cleaning idea?
That was good.
Okay. So a lot of new changes are happening with orthodontia, right? Invisible things, gluing them on the inside, right?
Mhm.
So the question would be to find out what is the minimal license that you have to have. And instead of going and spending a lot of time going to school many years where you have to take all of these courses that you don't really need, right? So when you go to UNLV, CSN, you have to take required classes, right? Your first 2 years are kind of wasted, right? Didn't you go to UNLV or something?
Went to IDT.
IDT, okay. So a lot of it is wasted time going to college. It doesn't have anything to do with orthodontia, right? But you might find out that the license you get to be a teeth cleaning person also enables you to measure people's teeth and do molds, which is a big part of braces, right? You know, when I had braces, that was the first thing they did, is they take a mold of my teeth. And so you could chunk this thing down and say, okay, well, it's not practical. So you've wasted, how long have you been out of high school?
A year.
So you graduated last year.
Mhm.
So before you graduated, you wanted to become an orthodontist. Okay. So 1 whole year has gone by. Have you made any progress towards that?
Yeah, I've, cause I had braces, so I've been shadowing, they call it, and he's like showing me how to do
Who, an
stuff.
orthodontist?
Mhm.
Like, could you work there?
No.
He
but I
won't
want
hire
to.
you?
No. He said when there's a spot, he will.
Okay. Liar.
He wants you to go to school.
Well,
He told me he did. He's like, he wants me to go to school.
okay, so here's what you have to be careful of. People who do a thing generally tell other people they should do that same thing. And all of the teachers we've ever had in school all graduated from what?
University.
College. They all are college graduates. Most of the people who do a thing like that are going to say college is good because that's where they live, right? So there's a Jewish saying of, for a worm that lives in horseradish, the world is horseradish. So if you grew up around people that went to college, they're going to say go to college. But if you want to work on teeth, the new thing is, well, why do I need to take these classes? They don't have anything to do with orthodontia. And usually you'll just come to this thing of, well, you need a diploma. But do you really need a diploma or do you need skills? You need skills. So I think a better plan than this plan, because what you're saying is, so you've progressed because you have a little bit of knowledge and experience, or maybe a lot. How many hours a week do you do that? Or
Well,
did you do it?
I did it twice a week.
Two, for how many weeks?
December maybe to February. It's like
Okay,
2 months.
and why don't you do it now?
I don't know, just,
Because you weren't getting paid, it wasn't worth it?
no, it was worth it because I was learning, but I just didn't go.
You quit?
No,
You
I
quit your
guess.
unpaid job?
Yeah.
How dare you? So we have, so a partner of mine is the guy who invented Chuck E. Cheese. You ever been there? Okay. And he also invented Palm and Atari game company. And CJ saw him when he came here one time. And he's starting a new thing called Snap. Snap is not a school, it's a place that you take, it's a business where you learn skills. And so going to Snap would be better than going to UNLV because it would give you certain skills, better skills than the skills you would get at UNLV before you did the dental skills. And it would do this kind of exercise with you. Well, what is it you really like? Okay, you like teeth, you like this, like that. Well, is it that you want to make money and have a good career and help people, or do you want to have a piece of paper?
And the first one.
Okay, but usually the people that say go get your degree, they think that you have to have both. In order to get this, you have to have your degree. That's not true anymore. The internet, it's not true. You could go on YouTube right now and learn about what they do in orthodontia school better than people learn in school. Because you would have the experts doing YouTube videos of here's what you do. Now, it's not a completely replacement, but the complete replacement is if you get the basic license, like a dental hygienist license, then my hunch is an orthodontist could hire you and train you to do the stuff that you need to do. And my hunch is you don't need to have a degree to go take your exams to be an orthodontist. You have to have experience and you have to take a test. So like for law school, do you think you have to go to law school to be a lawyer?
No, not if you know it. Or you could take the
Bar exam.
Bar exam.
Okay, you don't have to go to law school to take the bar exam. If you don't go to law school, you have to do certain things, like you have to work for a lawyer and be able to pass some other test. You don't have to be that. So my hunch is for orthodontia, you don't have to have a degree. From a four-year university, you have to have certain things, and that there's an exception, like an internship type thing. You know, the way to make money now, so do you want to just go do orthodontia for rich people or what?
No.
That sounds like yes.
I wouldn't blame you.
Huh?
I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah,
Go
well,
on, yeah.
but it's not that easy because everybody else wants to go get those people. That's where the teeth cleaning idea of $5 comes in. Because now, if you have money and you have a good dentist, you could say, you know what? $5, I'll get my teeth cleaned here. I'm supposed to go to my dentist in 2 months. $5, hell, that's worth getting my teeth cleaned right now. I like it when I have my teeth cleaned. People could do that. Or people who can't afford a dentist can afford $5 to have their teeth cleaned, right? Wouldn't that be a better treat than a Starbucks reward? I think so.
And there's more people that broke than it is with money.
Correct. So there could be another alternative that would make you feel really good, which is helping people who couldn't get braces otherwise. And you just have to figure out how you can make money on it. And maybe, well, I don't know. I don't want to think about that right now. And we have 14 minutes left. So let's finish with maps, because that's what you came for, right?
Yeah.
So what is the Google Maps app called?
Google Maps.
Google Maps. Okay, we all know that. What are the different map views that you can look at today?
Street view.
Okay. What is Street View?
Well, on Google Maps, it's where it's a image of the street, and you can move up and down the street, move left, right.
Looking what direction?
Looking straight or forward.
Okay, but where can forward be?
North, south, east.
You can turn.
Yeah.
And your street level. So you aren't looking down from the top. You know Street View, right? Okay, so you know. And who's the little guy that goes down there?
Oh, that's the yellow.
What's he called?
I don't know what he's called.
What's he called? What's he called?
I don't know.
He's called Pegman. Pegman. That's who that is. That's what his name is. Pegman, okay. So Street View, what's another view?
Map view.
Okay, map. And there's variations of that. One now you can do traffic. And it will overlay on the streets red or green or yellow, so you know what the traffic is like. Okay, what's another view?
I don't know.
Seriously? Push yourself.
Alright, I'll try.
Don't try, just do.
A view from the Earth.
From like the center of the Earth?
No, not from the center of the Earth.
So you're looking at rocks?
No, you're just looking.
Molten lava? The magma core? What?
I really don't know.
Think you do know. You know. You're on the right track, but you use the wrong word.
Oh, geography or
No.
No.
Come on.
World view.
Satellite,
Oh,
right? Satellite view.
yeah.
Okay, so that's on Google Earth. Is how you do that. What's another view?
You did say Earth though. So.
Yeah. Am I answering it?
What's another view? There's
Like
two more that I can
grid
think of.
mode or something.
Huh?
Grid.
Grid?
Don't they have like it was just the coordinates without the view of the.
Well, that's kind of map. There is one that's terrain,
Okay.
but that's not really, I'm not going to count that one. There's two more. And they're both very cool. And they're both relatively new. So what this shows is there's these other views that you don't know. Okay. One is called inside. So a thing would be orthodontist office inside view. You go on Google, do a Google search, dentist, has that little window pops up on the right side and has a picture and there's a little link that says website and directions and all that. So one will say inside. And what do you think that looks like?
Side of the building.
Yeah, inside of their office, and you can do a little virtual walk around and here's the dentist chairs and oh, this place looks kind of cool. Yeah, I could see myself in here. And so if you wanted to have a dental office or an orthodontist office that was for a particular type of person, what does inside view look like? What those people are interested in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say it's little Jewish ladies. What would the inside of the orthodontist office look like?
Jewish.
Something that little old Jewish ladies would be interested in, right? Stars of David, whatever things they would have in there, certain colors, and it would be a lot different than if it was for heavy metal people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, or skateboarding people. So that's inside view. What's another view?
Outside.
So to get a job,
Oh no.
so to get a job at a company, what we teach people at Larson is how to do maps and how to do inside view. And you say to an employer, yeah, I know I'm going to have this, you want me to do this job, but I can get you, I know Google Maps, and I can do this. I can make sure we're on the map thing the right way, identified. I can do inside view. And the last one is time view. So because they have those cars driving around so much now, right, in Street View, there's now a button you can push that shows you what it looked like for as far back as they have been doing that. And that's kind of cool, right? Because you can see this is what that building looked like 5 years ago. This is what it looked like 10 years ago. And that's going to be a big thing if people start thinking, okay, we want our business to look really cool in time view. We need to have it change a lot. And we want to promote this. We don't want it to be the same. We need it to be cool. We want to be able to promote this fact of, hey, look at us on time view. See how we've changed over the last 10 years. Bam. Then you have the people. There's another view. It's kind of a combination of these. I don't know what it's called. But it's like you're taking a trip. So you say, okay, well, I want to go from Las Vegas to, that's directions. I want to go from Las Vegas to California, right? It shows you the path, right? Well, there's another view that's street view with directions. So it's like you're sitting in the car and you're watching this thing drive. You're looking at what it looks like to be driving. You can speed it up so it's going like 150 miles an hour. And you just see all the roads turning, and it's kind of cool. So that can be used to help a business. So those are the different types of maps. Is a map important for a business?
Definitely.
Right. A map is very important for a business. Why? Why definitely?
Location, knowing how to get there.
Yeah, you want people to be able to get to you. Is a map going to be important in the future when there's drones?
Yeah.
If you sell stuff, why?
Because you don't know how to get it from that place to your destination, or the drone.
The drone's going to deliver it.
Yeah.
Why do I care where their business is?
How
I'm a
long
baker, I sell cupcakes.
How long did it take to get there?
I sell cupcakes. I might not want people to know where my cupcake factory is because it could be in a lousy place. It could be in my apartment. I just got a business license. I have a commercial kitchen in here. Do I want people to see my apartment building if I'm having drones deliver my cupcakes? No, so sometimes you might not want that. You just need to know when and how. Okay, so let's see. Questions, thoughts? Did you learn anything?
Yes, I did.
What?
I learned.
This is writing on it. What did you
Alright.
learn?
I learned how to change up plans from living a not so good life to improving it to make it a better life
Okay, and how do you do that?
by
Let's say it this
not
way,
getting
by,
the job
good,
you
not,
want.
good. Okay, so the using the word not gets you
Oh,
this.
would,
Oops, I dropped it.
oh.
Using, okay, so by not what?
By
Very simple, not getting a job that what?
sucks.
Correct. Don't get a job that sucks without a plan. If you have a plan, does that job suck? No. Working at McDonald's doesn't suck if it's part of a plan. Working in telemarketing doesn't suck if it's part of a plan. Working in a funeral home doesn't suck if it's part of a plan. If you're doing it for a particular reason other than what?
Just the main one.
Just the money. Because if you're doing it for money, what are you going to need to do? You're going to need to reward yourself, like Starbucks. And then what are you going to do when you get paid?
Buy some stuff.
You're going to buy stuff you don't need. Why?
If you're unhappy.
Because you're unhappy, exactly. Because you're unhappy. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Find something that you love to do and figure out how to do it. I would definitely say do not have a plan of going to college, because if you haven't done it yet, you're not going to do it. And that's just statistically. You can go on the internet and do statistics of the only way to get through college really is you start when you get out of high school, you move out of the house, you do it full time. Guess where that is not the case? Las Vegas. People don't leave home to go to school. We don't have dormant, this is not a dormitory thing. Do you think of all of the people who've ever gone to Stanford, how many people do you think ever said, I go to Stanford, but I live at home. I go home to mom and dad at night. Huh? You probably can't get into Stanford. If you said, I'm going to go home at night, they'd say, Stanford's not for you, because we need you in here, immersed in the system. And so it's good that you started shadowing. It's not good that you don't do it anymore. Have you applied for school for next year? Are you in CSN or UNLV or where?
Dental Academy.
Where's that?
Fleming on 215.
Okay, and how long is that?
12 weeks.
Okay, so you get your dental hygienist license?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good plan. And then if you can find an orthodontist who will hire you but will train you, and then what you need to think of to make money is what is a service where I can use the cloud to help make money? And how does the cloud help orthodontists make money? What do employers want? What are the two things employers want? Make money and save money. All businesses only care about two things, making money and saving money. The cloud enables businesses to make money because it's easier to do business. And you use some of these applications and you get to a lot more customers. And it's easier to save money because you don't need to do things the hard way, like paper files versus electronic files, storing things on disks and stuff like that. So if you can use the cloud, the question would be for you, how can the cloud help an orthodontist make money or save money? Record keeping would be one thing. Probably the place where you were they doing electronic records only now, or were they having files, patient files still?
They were having patient files and the files on their computer.
Okay, but they still had patient printed files?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one day those will all be gone. California Kaiser doesn't, no more paper. So that means, is that business saving money if they don't have paper?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you don't have people having to file paper and go find the paper and make copies of the paper. So that's what you should think about. If you come back next week, which you should, which you should come back. What I would like to hear is some ideas on how the cloud can help an orthodontist make money. And that is your ticket. That gets you where you want to go, because now you're up here making things happen. Okay, so you don't have a use for a bus pass?
No.
Okay, do you? You don't have a use for a bus pass? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so next time you might want to say yes, because once you have it, you might be able to figure out something to do with it. Right? Right? Okay, good. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here.